You hear a creaking in the basement. You think to yourself, why am I hearing a creak in the basement? There's nothing that should be creaking down there. It's made out of cement. Even the load-bearing pillar is made out of cement. So you go down there to investigate. You make it to the door. You open it up. You go to turn on the light. But no, the light bulb burns out. So you pull out your cell phone and you switch it to flashlight mode. And as you start to walk down the steps, you see red, glowing eyes. You startle. You scream. In Haunted Indiana, Ghosts and Strange Phenomena of the Hoosier State, written by James A. Willis, comes towards you with its final story for this Halloween evening. Never borrow one of James Whitcomb's books without asking. I am a book lover, and as such, I have amassed an enormous personal library. In fact, my paranormal library alone is bulging with well over 900 volumes. When it comes to my books, while I encourage everyone to borrow and enjoy them, it annoys me to no end when I find that one of my prized volumes has walked off, or someone has simply neglected to tell me that they borrowed one. That's why when I came across the ghost story concerning the Whitcomb collection at DePaul University Library, I couldn't help but smile. When he was alive, Indiana Governor James Whitcomb was known far and wide for being a bibliophile. In fact, while he was alive, Whitcomb took great pride in acquiring some extremely rare volumes to add to his personal library. When he passed away in 1852, Whitcomb had made a special request in his will to ensure that his library remained intact to be enjoyed for years to come. He willed it to the Indiana Asbury University. The university gladly accepted the donation, and a short time later, the Whitcomb collection took up residence among the library stacks. Shortly after that, some say that Whitcomb's ghost moved into the library. His ghost was sometimes reported near the Whitcomb collection, as if he was keeping an eye on his books. In 1884, the university changed its name to DePaul University after businessman Washington C. DePaul, who had been making huge contributions to the university for the previous decade, but nothing changed for the Whitcomb collection. Whitcomb's ghost was still reported lurking in the library, keeping an eye on his prized books. That is, until one day when a student borrowed, some say stole, a rare copy of James McPherson's The Poems of Ossian. The day after the student removed the McPherson book from the library, the badly shaken boy returned it. In a trembling voice, he stated the previous evening after retiring for the night, he awoke to find the ghost of James Whitcomb standing in his room after remaining there in silence for what seemed like an eternity. Whitcomb's ghost suddenly began crying out, "Ocean, who stole the ocean?" before simply vanishing. The library staff wasn't entirely convinced of the boy's story. Still, they decided that the entire Whitcomb collection needed to be placed under lock and key. This is how it resides to this day, making it virtually impossible for anyone to make off with a book. But that apparently hasn't stopped the ghost of James Whitcomb from making an appearance in the library every once in a while, just to keep an eye on things and make sure all his books are safe and sound. And that, my ghoulish friends, is the end of Haunted Indiana, Ghosts and Strange Phenomena of the Hoosier State, written by James A. Willis. This has been a fun 6 years that I've had doing this. In the very beginning, I did this in June of 2015. Crazy, right? But then I got the idea of saying, hey, let's move this to the appropriate season. October. Am I going to continue with any other books on Haunted Indiana? Oddly enough, I am collecting another series of books, also named Haunted Indiana, written by Mark Merriman. And he has 4 books in his list, as well as a bunch of others, but particularly Haunted Indiana is the one I'm enjoying the most, as it's a more broader myth and lore of the state instead of location specific. Will I be doing that next year with different tales? We'll see. That's a year from now. So I hope you've enjoyed these 6 years for those who've stayed with me. And for those who are new, check out the playlist at the end of this video to catch up. And with that, I want to say thank you. I love you all. And I hope everyone has a nice, happy, and safe Halloween, Samhain, or anything else that you like to do. This is Mad Magician Karos. I love you all.